In 1933, people in the most fertile land in Europe were starving to death at 28,000 a day because one man took all their food on purpose. His name was Joseph Stalin. Ukraine's farmers were resisting Stalin's plan to force them off their own land and onto collective farms. So Stalin decided to break them. He set grain quotas so impossibly high that meeting them meant handing over the food families needed to survive. Then he sent brigades to take it by force. Here's what nobody tells you: this wasn't a crop failure. There was no drought, no war. The food existed. Stalin just took it. In 1932, his regime stripped over 4 million tons of grain out of Ukraine, enough to feed 12 million people for a year. His squads searched homes and confiscated everything, not just grain, but beans, potatoes, the last food in the house. Then Stalin signed a law. Anyone caught with even a few stalks of grain from a collective field could be shot. They called it the Law of Five Stalks. And then he sealed the borders shut. Starving villagers tried to flee into Russia to find bread. Stalin blocked the roads and trapped 22 million people inside the famine zone. You could not leave, you could only wait. By the spring of 1933, Ukrainians were dying at 28,000 a day. Whole villages emptied, and the entire time Stalin's warehouses held grain reserves, and his government kept exporting food abroad to buy machinery for his factories. 3 to 5 million people starved on the richest soil in Europe, and Stalin told the world the famine did not exist and refused all outside help. When Russia invaded in 2022, it blockaded Ukraine's Black Sea ports and bombed its grain silos meant for the poorest nations on earth. 90 years apart, but the story continues. Next, the famine the British Empire chose to let happen